In this video, you are going to learn how to use multi-chain storage, one of the top-notch decentralized storage, with two core topics in this video. How to use multi-chain storage, which is number one, and the second one is how to use MCS SDK with the demo. Before we get into details, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, and comment down below with any questions, any video requests, or just any random comments. So with that said, let's get into the MCS web app first. Alright, we will go step by step on how to use MCS web app. So first of all, what you need to do is go to Multichain.Storage. Right, there are two prerequisites before we start. One is setting up the MetaMask wallet, which you can see right here, and the next thing is setting up the Polygon mainnet inside the MetaMask wallet. And also you need to have a few Matix token as well as USDC, right? And now when you click on the login in the multi-chain storage, you're gonna get a pop-up from MetaMask wallet. You need to sign up, then you will be directed inside the web app, right? So this is the page that you see. Since I have already logged in previously, you the folks who have not logged in, you guys will see a pop-up asking for an email address, which I would strongly recommend to put in. And also there are two types of storage right now that we offer. One is the on-chain storage and the next is bucket storage. So let's start with the on-chain storage, right? So this is the basic premises of what it looks like. So you have a file names, file size, and all the things. Let's go to upload file, right? Let's try uploading a file. Let's submit. When you submit, you're gonna get a pop-up from MetaMask again. You need to pay a small amount of transaction fee, and when you do that, it might take a few seconds, right? And it's going to upload your file, and you will be able to see your uploaded file. It's going to again get a pop-up. All right. So it's currently loading, right? So you can see the previous files that I have uploaded. There are a few file names, file size, storage providers, which are the folks who are storing your file right now, uploaded time, and you can see a completed pop-up getting displayed in the web app. So when you go to the link, you can see a transaction history. And when you go to the history page inside the Polygon scan, you will be able to see the timestamp when it was uploaded, right? So let's close this. Let's close this too. And you can also check that when it was uploaded, it was just uploaded right now. And you can go click this and you can download the uploaded file using the IPFS link. Here it is. This is the raw file that we uploaded, right? Okay, let's go to the home. You can see the status, price that we paid, and we can mint too, right? Let's put our description, logo of FilSwan. It will take a few seconds, and you will be able to see your minted file. It's awesome, to be honest. And while it's taking okay, so here it is. You can see the file that just got minted, and it will take a few minutes. Okay, so it just got displayed. It's quite fast, to be honest. And here's the transaction detail of the mint that has happened, right? So here's a small note: the NFT will take some time to load on OpenSea, which we have already seen. It's kind of fast that we have been able to load it, right? The next thing is the bucket storage, which is one of the core storage part that multi-chain storage of FilSwan has been offering. So when you go to this page, it should look empty on your side, but I have already created two buckets, right? So I'm not going to create a next one. Just giving everyone a heads up that the first bucket is a 30 free. The second bucket or any other buckets other than the first one that you created would not be free at all. So let's go to the first bucket, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna try uploading a file. Let's try upload a file. Let's do the same one. It should be very fast. Okay, got it. So we have a file, we have a link to the IPFS. So the IPFS link is copied. Let's go and paste. Here it is, right? It was quite fast. You can see the details of the file, including the object size, object CID, which is very important if you are a developer. And you can also delete this file, right? Let's try it, delete it. So what you can also do is you could try uploading a folder, which we are not going to do right now because it might take a bit of a time. So you have multiple functionalities inside the bucket itself. Inside the bucket named AAA, you can also create a subfolder, which could be, let's say, GM. It might again go upright like this, and again inside a GM you could upload another file, right? So it kind of is very cool. So you could also delete the bucket. Let's say I deleted the one that I had created earlier, right? So the billing history, you could also see all the billing history that you have done to, let's say, mint an NFT, or doing any kind of transaction within the on-chain or bucket storage, right? So the next part is the setting part, which is very important one, where you can see all the API keys. Okay, just giving everyone a heads up, you guys were not supposed to see my keys, but I'm going to delete all this later. So you could create a new key and set up an expiry date, let's say 60, and submit, and you're going to get a new tokens, and you could use those tokens to build an app if you are a developer or something like that, which we're going to talk about after a few minutes on the SDK part, right? So the next one is the documentation. If you're a developer, I would definitely recommend you guys checking out this documentation, which has a ton of stuff, right? All right, other than that, you have dark mode, which is very interesting, and the language change, which goes to the Chinese. That's it for the web app. Let's go dive into the SDK part now. Now what we are going to do is use MCS SDK to upload files, create buckets, and all the things. First of all, what you need to do is go to GitHub FilSwan/JS MCS SDK. The link is in the description below. So what you need to do is you need to go around the README, and let's start with the installation process, and I'm also going to explain the prerequisite. What we could do is, first of all, open up a new folder in a VS Code. First of all, you need to also have a VS Code, right? Open a folder called MCS SDK test. Now what you need to do is, and there are a few things that you need to do. First of all, you need to install Node.js, right? So Node.js, you need to go to the website, and you will have the current version listed out in the front end, and for Mac I have already installed. The next thing is the MetaMask wallet. So here is the link. You could also check out the documentation of how to do all those things, and also the Polygon mainnet endpoint, which needs to be installed in the MetaMask itself. So here is what I have done already. The fourth thing is the API key, which we are going to discuss a bit later. So let's also start a Multichain.Storage. Just a second. Let's also go log in. All right. So this is the page we will be needing after some time. Let's minimize this. First of all, what we can do is, so we have already created a folder here, and what we are going to do is npm init-y. So it's going to create a new package.json file, And let's also install the package js-mcs-sdk. So it's going to take a few seconds here. All right. So now what we will also be doing while that upload is happening, we are going to create a new environment variable file named .env. So here we go. So when we do that, we are going to copy the environment variable file data, and we are going to paste it here. So what we are going to do now is replace the API key, access token, and the private key. All right, so let's go to the account. Let's maximize it. So I have already created this one earlier. Let's create a new one. Let's say a 50 day of expiration date. Now let's copy this, paste it here. Also copy the access token and paste it here. So the other thing is you also need a private key, but not the URL RPC URL, which is defaultly set up as a Polygon mainnet. So for private key, what you need to do is go to the MetaMask wallet and go to the account details, and you click on export private key. For now, I'm going to pause this video and copy the private key and paste it here, and I'm going to save the environment file, and I'm going to go out because I don't want my private key to be shown to all the world, right? All right, since that is done, make sure the node module folder, environment variable, and package.json file are all in the same folder under MCS SDK-test, right? So what we're gonna now do is go to the GitHub, and now what we are going to do is initiate all the SDK, right? So before we go, we could also check the documentation right here. Now for the JS, we can go to bucket and create a bucket, right? What we can do is copy this. First of all, we need a new folder, index dot, let's say create.js. We're gonna create a bucket, right? What we're gonna do is first of all, let's go to the account details. Let's zoom in on what we do have in bucket section. We have nothing in the bucket, right? So this is the account that is connected with my MetaMask wallet that I kind of have put up my private key in the environment variable file, right? So now what we can do is let's name our bucket, right? Canada, let's say Canada. And to run it, what you need to do is node index.js. Sorry, not index.js, create.js. Okay, so why it did not found is because our creator.js is not inside the folder. We need to always put up our files under the same folder where all our packages are installed, right? Again, we can run it. There we go. Now we could go to the WebApp and check if the bucket is there or not. Here we go. So we have already created a Canada bucket called Canada. Now what we are going to do is again go to the API doc, and what we are going to do is, let's say we want to rename it, right? Let's not rename it. Let's first of all get bucket, and let's get information about the bucket because we need a few details like bucket parameters. Let's create a new file, info.js. Let's get the bucket information from info.js, right? Okay, So what we have found is we need this bucket UID. So let's copy this and let's comment down UID. Let's save it here, and we're gonna need this for a few times, right? Now what we are gonna do is we're gonna rename our bucket, right? So when you go to the rename section, we're gonna copy this code. Let's create another file, rename.js, right? Paste the file. Now what we are gonna do is we need a bucket UID. So the one that we copied earlier, we're gonna copy it, paste it here, and we are going to give a new name. Let's say Canada, Toronto. Save it, and again we need to run it. Let's say node rename.js. When we enter, we are going to now rename it. If you go to the Multichain.Storage web app and you're gonna reload it, then your bucket name is renamed, right? Now what we're gonna do is, let's say we want to upload a file, right, inside the bucket. What we're gonna do, copy this code. Let's create a new file, upload.js. Paste the file, and what we need is three things. First of all, the file path. We don't have a file that we are thinking of storing it in the bucket, right? So let's create a new dummy file, right? readme.md. And inside the readme file, let's say we want to say hello Canada, right? Let's save it, close it. Now let's rename, put up the file path, readme.md. Let's put up the bucket ID, which we kind of saved right here, and folder prefix. If we have a subfolder, we're gonna need this, but for now let's avoid it, right? So let's verify it. Inside the Toronto Canada bucket, there is no folder, any file right now, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run it now. Node space upload.js. When we run this code, what happened here is, okay, so the readme file needs to be again inside the MCS SDK -test folder, right? So it's not inside, so it did not support it. We're gonna again run it. Boom, now it's done, I guess. Let's check it from here. Okay, it's not done. Let's see where we went wrong. All right, here we are with readme.md. Okay, so now what we need to do is upload.js, and what we are going to do is we are going to upload the file called readme, right, inside the bucket called Canada Toronto, which has the UID of this number. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna refresh the front end in WebApp, and boom, here we are. The readme.md file is uploaded. If we're gonna click and we're gonna check the IPFS link, you are going to get directed to the file itself, which says Hello Canada. Woo, yeah. So now what we are going to do is finally we are going to, let's say, delete the bucket, right? Let's say delete a bucket. What we're gonna do is copy, and what we are going to do is create a file, delete.js. Now we're gonna paste it here, and what we need to do is we all need is the UID of the bucket, and we're gonna paste it here. right? Before we run, let's go to the front end and check. Let's say we have what we done is we have created a bucket. We have renamed it from Canada to Canada Toronto. We have uploaded a file called readme, right? We have details of the file. Let's go outside of the file, outside the bucket list, and what we are going to do is run it. Node space delete.js. Before we run it, make sure the file is inside the folder. Then we are going to hit enter. Boom. Now it's done. The bucket is deleted from the bucket storage, and you are good to go. So what we have learned is a lot of things right now: creating a bucket, changing its name, getting information of the bucket like bucket UIDs, renaming it, uploading a file, and deleting bucket itself, right? So more than that, what we can also do is a lot of things we can find it on the doc, API doc, which is all the way from renaming the bucket, which we have already done, get file list, all the listed files inside the bucket. We could get it from this code of getting the file information, deleting the file from the specific bucket can also be done, downloading the specific file from the bucket itself is also done, and the most interesting, definitely the creating the folder inside a sub bucket is very much of an interesting one, right? So other than that, we are good to go, and hope you guys enjoyed this. We look forward to hearing you guys what you have to say about the product itself. Please comment down below. Definitely don't forget to subscribe too. Thank you. Alright, now what we are going to do is test out Python MCS SDK. The first thing you need to do is obviously to have a VS Code and MCS.Storage, Multichain.Storage. Go to the Multichain.Storage. Then what you need to do is log into the website using MetaMask wallet. Then you need to go to the bucket. Let's delete this bucket. So this is the web app that you will be looking at, right? So we're also going to go to the docs.filswan.com. Then where you're going to head is to Python MCS SDK, right? So let's minimize this. Now we are in the development folder. So let's make a new directory, mkdir space MCS SDK test. Right. Let's get into MCS SDK test. Now what we can do is, now we need to init the npm. Let's install node. Enter. Yes, now it's installed. Here is the folder. Now we got this file, right? So let's close this file. Now what we need to do is we need to install Python MCS SDK. For that we need to put up an install command, and let's zoom in. Let's zoom in and let's minimize this. Okay, enter. Right, the MCS SDK is installed. Now what we can do is let's check if it's installed or not. So I have a Python 3, so I'm going to use pip3 command and list all the things that is installed out. Alright, so here is Python MCS SDK 2.0, 0.2.0. It's done. Now what we need to do is we need to now go to this folder right here. Now create a file called main.py. Let's also create another file which we are going to upload it, which let's name it readme.mz, and let's put up some text. Hello, Canada. Now, let's minimize this. Now what we can do is we are in the main.py file. We need to now access a lot of things here. So first, what we need to do is we need to import certain things, right? So for this, we are importing MCS, SDK, for Python, and for this we need API key, access token, and chain name. So for API key and access token, you need to head over to the website, which is MCS. Now go to the setting, then you create a new API key which has an expiration date of 30. Let's create a one, copy, and let's paste it right here. Let's minimize this, and again let's copy this one. Is the access token, and I'm gonna paste it here. Now for the chain name, what we are going to do is we are going to be using Polygon mainnet. So we are going to replace it with Polygon mainnet. If you're using Mumbai testnet, then you are going to put up Polygon.Mumbai. All right. Now what we are going to do is, now we are going to the documentation. So let's get started. We have already installed it. Now let's go to the next. Let's go to creating bucket, right? So we have imported all these things right here. Now what we need to do is create a bucket, right? Let's comment something out. Create bucket. For this, what we need a function called create bucket from here, and that bucket name is going to be something called engineering bud. It's a weird name, but still it works. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try running this code. So for that we need Python 3 main.py, and before we run that code, let's go to MCS, let's go to bucket, and here you can see there is no bucket yet created, right? So now we run this command, and boom, the bucket created itself. Let's reload this page, and you can see the bucket name, right? Now for the next, we are going to be listing the buckets, right? For that, we are going to import command from here, which is going to be this one right here, listing the bucket. And let's comment this out, right? And before we, okay, so now let's run this code again. Okay, so now the bucket is listed here. You have address, you have bucket name, UID, which we are going to use in the next few other functions. So here is a delete function. Let's not use the delete function as of now because we are yet to do some other things. Now what we can do is let's retrieve bucket information, right? So for that, let's copy this, retrieve bucket information by name and UID. So we're gonna paste this here. So let's comment this out right here. Okay, so for this we need bucket name, and for the bucket name we used engineering bud. Okay, so before that we need to remove this brackets and bucket UID. So for this you need to copy the one that had generated from the last command respond, and now save this, again run this code. All right, now again the bucket that we had has been listed here, right? So again what we're gonna do is we're gonna comment this out, and we're gonna create a new let's now try deleting the bucket. Delete the bucket. But to delete the bucket you need this function, delete function. Now let's replace the bucket name with the one that we have already created. And let's see here in MCS, it's still here, right? Now, as soon as we run this command, the bucket deleted successfully. If you reload this, then the bucket is gone, right? All right, now let's comment this out again, and let's undo this comment, and let's again create the same bucket because we are going to use it to update some files in there. We have already created again. Let's again save it, reload. All right, here is the. Now, if you go inside the bucket, there is nothing in there, right? So now we are going to try uploading something up in the bucket. All right, for that, what we need to go to the next section. All right, for this, we need to have a function called bucket client upload file, right? For this, we need, let's separate this file upload part, uploading a file, right? Upload file. For this, let's paste the command that we copied, and what we need to do is let's replace this bucket name with the same name. Let's also replace the object name. Let's keep the object name the same, which is the file name that is going to get uploaded. And finally, the file that we are going to upload, right? And the file that we are going to upload is the readme.md, and it says Hello Canada. Now let's replace it .md. All right, now we are good to go. Now what we need to do is again run the command and login successful. The file is uploaded. Now let's go to the bucket and let's reload it and check it. All right, here we go. The file name is engineering bud and it got uploaded right now. Again, let's comment down and let's again try downloading the file, right? Let's go to the download section, and what we are going to do is we are going to copy this and again paste it here. Let's create a topic, download, right? Now bucket name is going to be the same, object name is also going to be the same, and local file name is also going to be the same. Save it and again run it. Right, now we have already downloaded. Here it is. Again, it says Hello Canada. We have just downloaded from the chain that the MCS uploaded, right? Let's close this. So the download, when you download it, it's going to get the file into the same folder structure, the root folder that you are in. Now let's again comment down this. Now what we need to do is let's try deleting the file. But before that, let's not delete it right now. Let's get the file, right? Let's try getting the file that we already have. Get the file. Let's paste this, and the bucket name is again same. Object name is also the same. Let's save this. Again, let's run it. Boom. Here we go. We have the details of the file that we just uploaded. If we click on this link, then it is going to direct us to the page that has the file, right? It's uploaded on the IPFS Multichain.Storage. Now let's again comment down this, and what we could do is let's list all the files, right? Let's get file list, right? Now what we are going to do is copy this one right here. Let's give it a topic. Files, get file list. Now again replace the bucket name with the one that we have uploaded. Okay, so to get the list, we can keep this prefix empty because it's in the root. Let's put a limit of 100 and offset of maybe 0. Right now what we need to do is okay, so before we dive right into it, let's also replace the call API from bucket client, and we're gonna save it. And what we're going to do is again run it, and boom, here we go. We get the list of all the files. Since we already only have one file, we are already only getting one file, right? So for this, let's again comment it out. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create a subfolder, and we're going to create a subfolder inside the engineering bud. Inside the bucket, we're going to create a subfolder, right? For this, we're going to copy this function right here. Now we are going to copy the bucket name, and let's name our folder as hello there. Let's remove this prefix and let's save it. Again, let's run it. Okay, so we have a subfolder inside the bucket. So let's again check it out. So this is the bucket we created. So inside the bucket, we have hello there. This is the folder. This is the file that we uploaded previously. This is the folder that we have right now. All right, let's go back. Let's comment this out. And again, what we can do is finally, we are going to delete the bucket, right? So for now, we have a bucket list of engineering buds. We are going to delete everything. So for this, we are going to go to the delete file. So we're going to delete the file, not the bucket, because we already did that earlier. So copy this, let's give it a topic, delete file, paste this, give it a bucket, give the bucket name, object name. Let's save it. Before we run it, let's check. Inside the bucket we have file, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to run this command, and file deleted successfully. If you reload it, then there is no file. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's comment down, and I think so that is it. Let's also delete the bucket again, so everything goes out. Let's save this. Let's do the bucket. Here is the bucket. Finally, this is the final command. All right, bucket deleted, and we are again empty as earlier. All right, have a nice day.